Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Retro Pop Planet, and welcome to another episode of Discontinued Foods, the series where I try to reproduce something from our past and bring it back to life, at least for a short time. And you know you've hit peak retro nostalgia when you're reviewing juice boxes on the channel. But not just any juice box or any drink in particular. I'm talking about the 1980s Hi-C release of Ecto Cooler, a drink that has stuck with me for almost 40 years.
This summer, coming to a supermarket near you, there's going to be a great new Hi-C flavor with an outrageous fruit taste. And what are we going to call it? Ecto Cooler. Hi-C Ecto Cooler. Slimer's new fruit drink. You've been warned.
I think, like any kid of our generation, I was obsessed with Ghostbusters when it first came out. I remember seeing it in the theater. I actually saw both of them in the theater when they came out. I love the first movie so much that for 2 years in a row on my birthday at the roller skating rink where I could pick my birthday song, I picked Ray Parker Jr.'s Ghostbusters. I also thoroughly enjoyed the real Ghostbusters cartoon, but when the show came out, I was nearing the end of my toy collecting run, so I didn't actually own any of the toys as a kid. I thought they were really cool. As an artist, I loved the art design. I thought the character concepts were really neat, and the color palettes from an artist's perspective were very pleasing. My one specific memory when it comes to Ecto Cooler is when they were released. I remember I was in the summer rec pack, which is what we had. It was like a summer recreation program, and it lasted a couple months during the summer. What would have been in between 5th and 6th grade and 6th and 7th grade summers, we would have to bring a sack lunch, and the only drink I ever wanted was Hi-C Ecto Cooler in the carton. And the one summer, it's fused into my memory of drinking Ecto Cooler, listening to the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, as well as Def Leppard Hysteria. All that stuff seems to have come out at the same time period. And along with Ecto Cooler, the other commercial that was stuck in my brain was the Ghostbusters cereal. And I still remember Ghostbusters with milk and juice and toast. So the reason that I got it into my brain to do this video is I came across a Ghostbusters News YouTube video. He's done several iterations of the Ecto Cooler. Now, I've been aware that people have been remaking Ecto Cooler for 20 plus years. And I've known about the different versions of Hi-C that have come out over the years, and Coca-Cola actually did a re-release of Ecto Cooler. I was not one of those influencers that was on a list to get a batch of these things, and from what I can tell, most of the folks that got these are just using them as collectibles. I don't even know if they actually opened them to drink. And the few that did say they opened them to drink said it was nothing like the original, probably because these sugars have changed. We're not using a lot of those artificial sweeteners like we used back in the 80s and early 90s. And actually the person that I credit the most with, who has been holding the mantle for Ecto Cooler for decades, is Matt over at Dinosaur Dracula. I first came across him in the early 2000s, back when he was doing the X Entertainment, and he did a version of this years ago where he tried all these different juices and put them together. I enjoyed reading all these posts, but I never went to the trouble of doing it myself, and I'm not going to be recreating the wheel here on this channel. I just want to try it. I feel like it's time for me to finally try to make Ecto Cooler at home on this Discontinued Food series. I was walking through the grocery store recently and I came across Hi-C's Orange Lava Burst. This is the one that people have told me for years tastes exactly like Ecto Cooler, and they rebrand it every so often. I also know about this Juicy Juice Orange Tangerine flavor that everyone raves about, and they tell me that it tastes exactly like Ecto Cooler. So I grabbed a package of each, and I have them here, and I'm gonna try them first. So first I'm gonna go with a Juicy Juice because I don't remember ever drinking Juicy Juice as a kid. It's not something that I ever really clamored for. I don't even know if I'd ever really had it. I don't know if I've ever had it, actually. This is 100% juice, and everyone said it tastes exactly like Ecto Cooler, so let's try it. Okay, so that first sip is pretty close, but now I'm getting this weird apple like aftertaste. I know there's probably no apple in here, Yeah, and on the second taste, it doesn't taste anything like Ecto Cooler. Now, it does have that orange tangerine flavor, which was so prominent in Ecto Cooler, but Ecto Cooler had so much sugar in it that after that first sip, you'd be coming away with like kind of a sour, you know, your face would sort of, you do one of those things. That doesn't have that, and it tastes a little bit like apples. So I'm gonna say that's a no. It tastes good, but it's not for me. All right, so next we're gonna go with the Orange Lava Burst, and this is the product which people say is the closest approximation, and that Coca-Cola is just teasing you every time they put it out, and they don't have Slimer on here. So let's go ahead and try this, because again, I've never had any of these. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's very close, actually. It's still missing a flavor profile, but if you didn't know and this actually had Slimer on it, I don't think you would actually know the difference. Okay, so now I want to go with the Ghostbusters news recipe. Now, I want to be fair. He mentioned that it was the San Diego Ghostbusters that put out this recipe. They had come up with this concoction. Unfortunately, it seems like the links are down. I can't find any of the links. And even in Ghostbusters News, he doesn't post the actual recipe. And because he lives in Canada, his stuff is in liters. So I actually had to slow down the video, freeze it, and then take the measurements and then do the conversion. I will actually post the recipe down below.
Ecto Cooler.
All right, now I want to try this unholy concoction. I mean, it smells like it, but the one thing I will say is I don't ever remember having Ecto Cooler in any other container but the juice box. I never remember getting it in the bottles, the plastic, or the cans. And I know that depending on the packaging, sometimes it can change the flavor profile of the juice. But right off the bat, it does have a very citrusy smell to it. So let's just go ahead and try it. Whoa. All right, one more and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Okay, so first off, that orange tangerine really hits you. But then the aftertaste is lemonade. But it all sort of combines, and then you get that artificial sweetener, that overwhelming sugar rush at the end. I mean, it's pretty close. But I do have to do one more test to make sure. And because I only ever had it in a juice box, I think I need to try it with a little straw. I don't know what to say. That is pretty dang close. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoyed my little review. Please go check out those other channels that I mentioned earlier in the video because they are the ones that came up with this. I am just doing a review, and it was a really fun review, I will say. Let me know if there is another recipe that you think tastes better if you've tried this one. And if you haven't tried this one, I recommend you do. I hope that helped you unlock a memory, and maybe you can impress some of your friends at your next party or a Halloween party and unlock one of their memories as well. If you like this video, please make sure you give it a like. Check out my video that I did for Ghostbusters filming locations in New York City. I did that a few years ago. I'll leave a link at the end of this video that you can check it out. Please feel free to subscribe if you like Discontinued Foods or if you like other retro content. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.